The night was bitterly cold, the kind of chill that crept into the bones and made every corner of the house feel heavy with silence. In the kitchen, I stirred a pot of soup, the steam curling upward and fogging the window above the sink. My name is Clara, and at 44, I've carried the badge of single motherhood for most of my life. My son Ethan, now 22, has always been my anchor, my reason to keep pushing forward. We've faced storms together, side by side, and that bond has made you stronger, but on this particular night, something felt different. A quiet shift I couldn't explain. Ethan came home late, his shoulders slumped, his hair falling into his tired eyes. He looked drained in just from the day, but from weeks of balancing long shifts at the bookstore with his night classes. He'd always loved literature, and chasing a degree was his dream. But I could see the weight of his ambition pressing down on him. "Mom," he whispered, his voice low, "I don't feel so great." His hazel eyes, usually so full of energy, seemed dulled with fatigue. "Is it the little down?" My heart tightening. "You look exhausted, sweetheart." "Go rest. I'll bring you some soup once it's ready." Our old Victorian house with its drafty windows and stubborn heater was always slow to warm. I grabbed a heavy quilt and followed him to his room. He collapsed onto the bed, and I tucked the blanket around his shoulders just like I had when he was little. "Thanks, Mom," he murmured before closing his eyes. For a moment, everything felt normal again, me taking care of him trusting me. But beneath that warmth was a current of worry. He was burning out, and I wasn't sure how to help him find balance. Not long after, the doorbell rang, its sharp chime cutting through the stillness. I hurried to answer and found our neighbor Tom standing there. His coat was dusted with snow, a flashlight in his hand. "Evening, Clara," he said kindly. "Saw your lights on." With this cold, I thought I'd check in. "Any trouble with the heater?" Relief washed over me at the normally office presence. "It's been acting up again, if you wouldn't mind taking a quick look." I stepped aside and Tom entered. He went straight to the living room heater, tools in hand, making light conversation about Ethan's classes and me job at the library. I answered politely, though my mind kept drifting back to Ethan's pale face. From the hallway, Ethan appeared, leaning against the wall. Arms crossed, he was quiet, his expression unreadable. I wondered if he felt embarrassed about Tom seeing him weak, or if he resented having someone else step in. The tension in the air was hard to ignore. Tom finished his work and stood. "That should keep the heat running for now. Call me if it acts up again." His smile faltered slightly when his eyes flicked toward Ethan, as though sensing an unspoken strain in the room. After he left, silence settled once more, heavier than before. Ethan finally spoke, his voice soft. "Mom, I don't want you to worry. I'll figure this out. Just need time." I touched his arm gently, offering a small smile. "I know you will, but you don't have to carry it all alone. We'll figure it out together like we always have." He nodded, and for the first time that night, his eyes softened. Held his head briefly against Miss Holder, a gesture that reminded me of his childhood. My heart ached with both love and worry, but I knew this much was true. No matter how heavy life felt, we keep moving forward side by side. The night wasn't easy, but it ended with a fragile sense of hope. And some temesthets.